On a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot, off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot, off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot, off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot, off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot, off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot, off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
ball's shot! Off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, Throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot off the post. Score!
Let's try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot. Score! Cornell down the field. End zone. That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot off the post. Score!
Let's try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot. Score! Cornell down the field. End zone. That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot off the post. Score!
Let's try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot. Score! Cornell down the field. End zone. That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot off the post. Score!
Let's try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot. Score! Cornell down the field. End zone. That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot off the post. Score!
Let's try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot. Score! Cornell down the field. End zone. That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot off the post. Score!
Let's try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot. Score!
Good evening, everyone. Welcome into the press box here from Smithfield Municipal Ice Rink here in Smithfield, Rhode Island. High school hockey opening night here in the state of Rhode Island. Tonight's matchup kicking off between the Smithfield Sentinels and the Prout Crusaders, joined today alongside Matt Jolis. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Chris Hetu. Matt, we've been waiting a long time to get back into the swing of things in hockey. Our bread and butter here at the network, and I'm excited for this one.
In an awkward way, I want to say welcome to hockey season, but then in an awkward way, we've been doing so much hockey since the beginning of September, it's a little hard to say welcome to hockey season with as much hockey as we've been doing. But, I mean, welcome, I guess, to the high school hockey season finally in the Ocean State as we hit opening night. A great one. Smithfield, I feel, one of the top 4 teams potentially this year. For me, it's going to be disciplined hockey out of the Sentinels. If the Sentinels can stay out of the penalty box this year, I see them being a team that can challenge Hendricken, that can challenge LaSalle. Yes, Jake Salima's gone. There's still a heck of a lot of talent on this team. On the opposite side for the Prout Crusaders, as Owen Glass plays in net, so too will the Prout Crusaders play in front of Owen Glass. And I know that kind of sounds weird to say a goaltender is a focal player on a team, but for the Prout Crusaders, they've had a lot of good time in the offense, in the defense, but it's been the goaltending that they've needed to really have. Glass got a really good season under his belt last year. I feel like he's now a strong veteran player, and Owen Glass goes, the Prout Crusaders will go.
Absolutely, and Prout was a team that struggled a lot last year. Didn't make the postseason, if I recall correctly. And with Smithfield, they just barely managed to sneak out a division win on topping teams like Burrillville and Mount St. Charles. Very impressive. So now they look to repeat that in similar fashion and maybe a more successful fashion this year. Like you said, no more Jacob Salima, no more Chris Desano either, who was their top scorer last year. So they're asking a lot of guys to step up now.
Yeah, but, you know, like I was talking about it, you know, they've still got a lot of really talented players. I mean, Nate Goff's still here, Cody Van Gordon, Tom Hayden, Chase Rinker. You know, Dalton Dunahan's going to get a lot of, like, line 1 play.
And now we'll take a moment to pause and recognize America for the playing of our national anthem. And with that slap of the stick at the end of the national anthem, hockey season is back in the state of Rhode Island. Tonight, the Sentinels will be decked out in their gold and green attire, while the Crusaders will have a small shade of maroon going with some black and gray. Very slick jerseys, I got to say.
That is a brand new look for the Crusaders, and definitely a very slick look. And I'll say, before we get pucked up, let's get some business out of the way first.
Absolutely.
And introduce our sponsors for the high school hockey season. Joseph Lamy, 696 Reservoir Avenue in Cranston, Rhode Island. Visit josephlammy.com for more information. Joseph Lamy, attorney at law. And RR Elite Recruits with access to 3,000 schools and 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. Be seen by being a part of RR Elite Recruits. Go to www.rreliterecruits.com for more information.
And
Chris,
yes.
You ready to go?
Oh, I'm ready to go. I am so ready to go.
It's a long way until March, my friend. But
it really is, but it flies by. It really does. So, as said before on the broadcast, in net tonight for the Sentinels, is number 35, Matt Bradley. And down on the other opposing end is Owen Glass, number 33.
Yeah, Matt Bradley came in some mop-up duty behind Jake Salima. Played a couple of games when Salima was out. He's bided his time. Now he's the guy.
And with that, we are underway. High school hockey officially underway from Smithfield Municipal Ice Rink. Prout takes the face-off in their attacking zone. And it's dumped in behind the net. Going to get scooped up that time by Matt Payne. And the toss up front there to Will Hawkins, who dumps it in. The Crusaders get a hold of it. That time, Nick Gamba. Or excuse me, that's number 4, Aiden Forcier. And in the zone, Forcier. That puck traveling a little bit past him. Bradley used the stick to poke it away, and it's dumped off by Hawkins. And Payne going to get some assistance that time from Mercurio. And behind the red line, it's dumped back to the neutral zone. Gamba takes it across. As they get onside, it's deflected off the defender's stick and off to the near side glass. Back to center. And sent back the opposite way. Gamba will dump it back in. Rinker to chase it down as the Crusaders go for a line change. And they're struggling to move this puck. And it'll wrap around the backside to the far side over for McIntosh. And he lets that one escape him. His teammate Mark Roberts, able to get a hold of it, and it's flipped back up. And now the Sentinels will start a charge forward. Going into the zone that time. Pasia. And now this time Boudreau sends it back. The shot right on net, deflecting off to the right. And the Crusaders struggling to move this puck out of their own end, but they do get it back to neutral ice. And now on the Sentinels side of things, Van Gordon having some trouble with his feeding, and he'll manage to clear it back to center. And the Crusaders will dump it back. Trying to establish a solid forecheck right out of the gate, and that one is going to hit the ceiling and finally stop play.
All right, 2 minutes in, and we got our first ceiling hit of the year. Always fun when you come to Smithfield Municipal Ice Rink is the fact that you have that low ceiling here. So it's one of those things that I know you and I have done a number of games here. We start counting as we go. It's like, how many times are we going to hit? I think we got up to 150, 160 ceiling hits last year, so we're at 1. Let's go.
We'll have to start a tally chart. That's number 1. And off the face-off. The Crusaders take it, but a nice interception there for Nate Goff. Goff, all by himself on the breakaway trying to backhand it. Did he get it in? They say he did. Nathan Goff sets the tone at the beginning of this one. Sentinels take the lead early, 1-0.
Yeah, great pickup right there through the neutral zone. Got the poke check, created space, 1v1, and then he deeks to the left side, gets Glass to commit so he can come back on the right side. Was able to stick it right behind Glass's leg and gets it in for a 1-0 lead for the Sentinels. Establish dominance early on, 3 minutes into the game.
And Nate Goff did exactly that, and he'll do that by helping out with the face-off win as they dump it back into neutral ice. It'll be dumped into their zone. Forcier and Gamba trying to get a hold of it, and Bradley stops it dead in its tracks.
Yeah, Bradley's very lucky. That was a bit of a dirty rebound, came off of his chest plate. Came right down in front of him, luckily, rather than bouncing outward. He's able to just get that catching mitt right on top of it and stop the play.
And on this face-off, comes to the near side boards, dumped away by Rinker all the way to the other side of things. And flip behind his back, the Crusaders looking to opt for another opportunity, and Bradley with the glove save.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that the shots on goal are 2-2, but we're already talking about a 1-0 scoreline because of that play by Smithfield.
And something's woken up in Prout. They finally starting to see a little more offensive action. They win the face-off again. Try and send another one down. Good defensive effort there as the Sentinels take it up. Pasia was a little too early there as Jacob Boudreau crossed that blue line before he could.
Can we get VAR in hockey? Because I think that was like the front of the toe of his blade across the line. That was so close.
It was just enough for the line judge to blow the whistle, so they'll come back and do it all over again at neutral ice. And as the puck hits the floor, here come the Sentinels, ripping one behind the glass, or behind the net, I should say. A hard wrister coming from Jacob Boudreau. And skating over to the far side is Gaffney, John Gaffney. And coming back to the near side here, Gamba trying to get a hold of it, and it flips back to the center. And they'll take it across there. Gismondi. Derek Gismondi. And a hard hit up against the glass and a whistle to stop play. They're going to call a penalty by the looks of it.
Yeah, it looks like Smithfield's going to get caught for tripping. It's going to put the Prout Crusaders on the power play for the first time tonight. Trying to go down that side board. You can't get your stick out and pull the player's leg as he's trying to go along that side boards. That's why you could hear the thump of the side boards was the player going down as he got his leg taken out from underneath him. Smithfield's going to end up in the penalty box, and it's going to be 2 minutes power play for the Crusaders.
So Jacob Boudreau takes the penalty, and nice clear as Matthew Payne dumped that away. Glass sends it back up to Nick Gamba, and Gamba going to try to escape trouble by taking it behind the net. He'll have to redirect there, as the Sentinels are applying some great pressure from Jacob Hopkins, and this one dumped in. And icing going to be the call with 1:39 to go on the power play. And Sentinels and Crusaders will face off on the Crusaders side of things.
Yeah, Crusaders actually got lucky on that one a little bit because there could have also been a delayed offsides, which would have brought the face-off just outside of the blue line. But the icing actually happened in the course of that too. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like a awkward like win-win for the Sentinels and a lose-lose for the Crusaders. But for the Crusaders, you get the ability to set.
And it looked like he just pulled off right there. That was Hawkins. Looked like the sign judge was going to just have him step out of the face-off circle. With that feed, it's going to be trapped down by, that was Matt Payne. This one flipped the other way. A good chance here for Hawkins if he gets a hold of it in time. He's going to go around the backside. He's checked up against the boards by Malari. And now the feed back to center. Roberts couldn't seem to bring the pass down cleanly as he's checked into the boards by the PK. And it's cleared once again. So the Sentinels penalty kill unit doing a solid job as there's a minute remaining on their penalty. The Crusaders don't want to squander this power play. The return back to center. A hard interception, though. A good chance for Rinker. Shot wide to the right. And at it, Aiden Forcier has had enough of that. He's going to try and bring it back up through center. Maneuvering through two, but now a chance here coming for Nate Goff. Goff, who had the goal earlier, trying to maneuver through three defenders. He's tripped up in the effort. But the Sentinels PK unit seems to have just met the Prout Crusaders right at the center of the zone. And they've just been very effective. Another clear. Now 20 seconds remain on this power play. Wrapping around the backside is John Gaffney. On the far near the benches, and he'll cut back into center. Gaffney sends this one right at Bradley. Bounced right off the shin pads. And the puck trapped up against the boards and dumped away by Payne. And that'll do it. The power play has officially concluded. Smithfield back to full strength at the point. Hard shot off to the right. Shot taken that time by Tyler Simo. And a hard hit coming from Thomas Hayden. And this one goes wildly over the top of the Sentinels bench and into the penalty box.
Yeah, they'll pull that piece of rubber back out of the penalty box, but the physicality of this game certainly picking up from both sides. It's kind of odd to say this is opening night of the season because these guys are hitting like we've already played 15, 16 games.
I know it, and I mean, it's great energy. You love to see it in game number one. And off the face-off, Sentinels come away with it. Flipping it to the other side over to, that was Rinker. And now back through center. Glass going to watch this one go down, but no icing the call. Crusaders seeing a strong forecheck coming from these Sentinels, and they'll finally escape with it back through center. Rinker has other ideas as he flips it back the other way, and now Thomas Hayden dumps it in. Sentinels will get fresh pairs of skates out there. Costello trying to get it up past over to Belcher. And the Sentinels flip it back into the zone. And they clear it back to center for Mark Belcher. Belcher chasing it down on the Smithfield's end of the ice. Rinker after it. Can't seem to find the freedom there as Belcher fell to his feet trying to get a shot on net. And Rinker, the pass up there, now gets it over to the Hawkins. Will Hawkins skating past one. Trying to get the shot off on glass. The rebound off to the right. And the Sentinels watch this one travel back into their own zone. Now back at center, Hawkins flipping it off to Mercurio. And Mercurio didn't really seem to have a lot of help as Goff was faded off to the right. And now back at center. They're going to have to retreat and get after this. James Sylvester has it here. And passing it up past Mercurio. And it's considered a dump in.
Yeah, I caught a piece of Mercurio's stick on the way down to get that deflection. Otherwise, that easily would have been an icing call.
Very fortunate there, and they managed to get themselves a line change cleanly, keeping the sequence rolling. And no whistle called. They'll continue the action. There could have been some type of boarding call potentially, but
that was a good open ice hockey hit right on the side of the blue line. That's what you like seeing. Turned away from the boards, made sure he didn't hit the approaching player from Prout into it. Just got him spun around.
Prout's defense, they've been playing on their heels all night as the Sentinels have been putting a ton of pressure here in this first period. Puck trapped against the boards, and it's finally cleared back to center. Rinker, the feed that time over to Van Gordon. And now flip to the near side. And still stays near as it's finally dumped in that time by Gismondi.
Yeah, Prout needed a dump-in chase there so they could get a minor line change. Try to change up their defensive pairing a little bit, see if they can stop Smithfield. They've been a little bit porous on the blue line.
Kept in the zone and now flipped up. Referee skate touched it, and we got ourselves a penalty. That delayed penalty going to be called against number 7. That's Nolan Quirk heading to the box. So Prout already trailing in this one, and that's not a good way to add to it. Put 2 minutes on the board there.
Yeah, Prout got in the way of the approaching player from Smithfield as he was trying to go for the puck and got in his way, taking him out as the puck was being received. So that's that easy 2-minute interference call.
And so Smithfield on the power play at the top of the zone. And they weren't able to keep it in. Goff lost it as he was checked to the ground. And the Crusaders dump it in. It escapes past Burnett. And now behind the net. It's going to be shepherded up front by Payne. Payne's pass over past Mercurio. And an icing call going to bring this back onto the Smithfield side of the ice.
Tonight's first period on Fans Only Sports Network brought to you by Joseph Lammy, attorney at law, 696 Reservoir Avenue in Cranston, Rhode Island. Visit josephlammy.com for more information, and by RR Elite Recruits with access to 3,000 schools, 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by being a part of RREliteRecruits.com today.
And off the face-off, the Sentinels come up with it as Sylvester redirects. Cutting behind the net, he'll feed it over to Matt Payne. Payne. All the way across, that time to Hawkins. Will Hawkins crossing the blue line, and he'll wrap it around the boards over to Nate Goff. Goff, that time back to Payne. And cleared effectively that time by John Gaffney. This one right in front! And Bradley making a big stop. A delayed penalty called, and this one likely against Smithfield. And that was number... I'm trying to get that number right there. Is that 9 that's skating across?
For Prout?
Yeah, this guy. That just
number
went to
9.
the bench. Number 9. That was Caleb Burnett. He had a nice breakaway, but good job by the Sentinels defense. But now they're going to have to play some more defenses if we got 4-on-4 action.
Yeah, number 22 for Smithfield getting put in the box. James Sylvester. Both sides getting called interference calls today.
And discipline was the key word going into this matchup that we said in pregame. We'll see which team maintains that discipline. This one dumped away over towards glass. It's right in front of them. A good job right there by Malari, boxing a defender out or an attacker. And now McIntosh knocked to the floor by Rinker as he pushes him away from the puck. But they continue their attack. Forcier with the feed to Gamba, and Bradley, another one coming at him. And that one bounces off the back of the net. It's still in play. Forcier and Gamba both teaming up, 3 and 4, trying to see if they can break through the 5-hole. But great job from Bradley staying calm and poised in the net. Gamba has it here. Chances, the line change came across. Rifling one wide to the left. 10 seconds remain before they get back to full strength. But here comes Mercurio across center ice. Taking it into the attacking zone is Jacob Hopkins, set up in glass. Makes the stop with the penalty expiring, and now they go on the power play for the next 57 seconds.
Yeah, good opportunity for the Crusaders to try to see if they can peel something back in. They're only trailing by 1. That's a good spot to be with 4:45 left to go in this period. But so far, the Crusaders' offense has been shots from distance. They're not really crashing the net yet. I think if they get in further on the net, they might actually bother Bradley.
A little bit of a tie-up through center that time as Frank Lombardi had to really spin around to find the location of the puck. And here come the Crusaders again. Well, hard shot from Karamidas. And Karamidas has it here again. That was John Gaffney with the shot, but right there in front of the net, the whole left side had an opening, and the Sentinels defense clogged it up quickly.
That's exactly what I was talking about. There's that whole left side of the net open. They weren't crashing the net. There were no gray jerseys directly in front.
Ooh, a hard hit up against the boards and another penalty as Frank Lombardi was checked hard, and he's sending him to the box immediately.
Oh, yeah, without question. You can't do that from the backside on a defenseless player. I mean, that's like a blindside hit in football. You can't do it. If the guy's turned behind, you come and you hit him in from behind, you're going to the penalty box. There's no question about it. The question is going to be, the referees are talking about this, was it a check from behind? If it is, it's 2. And nope, they're just going to give him the 2 for roughing. I was going to see whether or not he was going to hit his hips for misconduct.
So Andrew Noel sent to the box for 2 minutes. And now Smithfield 16 seconds away from going on another power play. And their defense has been operating very effectively tonight, especially this penalty kill that we saw just moments ago. But we return to 4-on-4 hockey. I don't know what the heck that was coming out of my mouth. It's been a long day, I'll tell you that.
Hey, it's been a long day for Fans Only Sports Network.
Really
we
has.
started broadcasting 8 a.m. this morning with the Overspeed tournament at Mount St. Charles. So, it's been a bevy of days. I mean, this is essentially, if you count the 4 games at Mount, Bryant versus Roger Williams is 5. This is our 6th hockey game of the day on Fans Only Sports Network. I think we might have to rename ourselves Fans Only Hockey Network.
Yeah, honestly, at this point. And some great movement from Aiden Forcier earlier as he maneuvered and juked around several defenders. Was unable to come up with much, and Prout gets reset as they continue this penalty kill. Killing a lot of time from Smithfield as they pass it back over to Rinker. Rinker, a hard feed to Van Gordon. And here comes Cody Van Gordon as Rinker skates off. Back at center, though. And Mercurio trying to stop it. Forcier stopped dead in his tracks from the defense. And taking it across there is Hawkins. This one deflecting off to the right side. And now Mercurio after it. Anthony Mercurio. And now it's flipped back to center over for Payne. Matt Payne flips it this time to Sylvester on the far side. Sylvester to Mercurio. Mercurio all the way over to Goff. And now Goff with the little dump off to Hawkins. Back to Goff. Goff maneuvering through traffic as he's checked hard. And the puck taken away. That time the feed from Malari. This time over to McIntosh. Bradley sticks the puck away. 20 seconds left on this penalty as it's flipped back to the top of the blue line. And the Sentinels clear it back to center and into the Crusaders side. Some new skates coming out for Smithfield. On the far side. Under 10 seconds now. 5 seconds remaining on this penalty. And flipped right in front out of the zone by Simo. And the penalty expires. Both teams back to full strength. 2 minutes to go. Your score 1-0 as the Sentinels lead the Crusaders. In a tightly contested game of game number 1 of this long Rhode Island high school hockey season. A hard shot right on glass, and at the end of the play that time, hurdling him was Sylvester. That was, wow. Glass didn't even see it coming, and Sylvester trying to do due diligence by trying to hurdle him so he's not cranking him into the net. Thankfully, no one hurt on that play.
Yeah, smart play by Sylvester, understanding where he was, where Glass was as he came sliding out, making that maneuver for his safety and Glass's safety, both. But, yeah, it's always a dangerous situation.
This one deflecting off the glass, and Rinker after it here with a lot of pressure that was coming that time from Karamidas. Rinker has it as he maneuvers and dumps it at glass. This one bouncing off the pads off to the left side. And now on top of it there is Vanelli. And a whole lot of traffic there. But right in front, there was a good opportunity that time for Villalai going behind the net. Off to the far side that time was Hayden. At the top, the shot knocked down by the defense. A whole lot of clogging in the slot. And trying to flip it behind his back there.
A lot of dirty ice right now. You can see that puck just kind of really not sliding around, like dying in piles. They're going to have to deal with a whole nother period of that, though, before they get the Zamboni out.
Oh, yeah, and that was a little interesting right in front of the net. The defenders playing keep away right in front of their goaltender. A good chance for Prout to get set up for a shot, and wow, a great job by James Sylvester defensively, knowing the location and making a key stop. 30 seconds left in the period, trying to maneuver through a Simo. And the Sentinels defense do their due diligence and clear this puck away. And they'll get a line change going with under 20 to go in period number one. Deflecting right off the glass, going right towards Glass himself. And back through center. Mark Roberts. Doesn't have much time. He needs to get a shot off, but Matt Payne says heck no as he gets ahead of it. And that'll conclude the first period of action here from Smithfield Municipal Ice Rink. It's been a very entertaining one to start. 1-0 your score as the Sentinels lead the Crusaders. We'll be back here in just a moment as these two teams switch sides right here on Fans Only Sports Network. And we welcome you back to Smithfield Municipal Ice Rink. Score after 1-0 as Prout trails Smithfield. It was a very entertaining first period to start, Matt. And, I mean, what did you see out there?
Yeah, I mean, we're 15 minutes into the high school hockey season. It's kind of a great feeling to be in. But, really for Smithfield, it's been pace of play. They've really been dominating and dictating what the speed of this game is going to be. A lot of really good tape-to-tape passing, which is, of course, what you want to have. For Prout, I think they're trying to push a little too much. They're just so worried about trying to break Smithfield's back line, get into the offensive zone, that they're pushing a little too much. And when they're pushing, they're allowing Smithfield to be able to bottle them up and take over the play. That's why you really haven't seen Prout, even though they have that shot lead in 10-6. It was really a flurry of 5 or 6 shots in one offensive possession or a second offensive possession. A lot of that period, they got bottled up in the neutral zone. Prout, you had a player coming through, and we're immediately talking about Smithfield taking him over and going the other way. Obviously, mistakes from both sides, penalties from both sides, interference penalties from both sides, so players are stepping where they're not supposed to be. I think they'll shake all that out as the game goes on, but if you're the Prout Crusaders, you're only down 1-0.
Yeah, trying to not panic too early. You're only one period into the match. And we'll get set for the second period face-off. And we're back in action. Sentinels come away with it, and they'll dump it into the zone in favor of Sylvester. Wrapping around Glass's net. Mercurio opts to send it the other way, that time for Hawkins. At the top, the shot right there, right in front, and it finds the back of the net off the deflection. Anthony Mercurio finding the back of the net that time.
Well, that's just crazy. That's a ding-dong play because the shot just went, and all of a sudden, everybody was thinking it got blocked away. Instead, it kind of ping-ponged around, and all of a sudden you find it in the back of the net. They're all of a sudden, we're looking, thinking like, oh, Glass has it, and every single Smithfield player is pointing at the back of the net.
James Sylvester had the initial slap shot from the point, and off the stick of Anthony Mercurio, it deflects into the back of the net. Sentinels now up 2-0, and they'll try and set the tone yet again as it's dumped in. Goff and Mercurio to chase it down. Mercurio up at the top. This one rifled in by Payne. It's bounced off of Glass off the rebound. And Prout trapped right in front. And the puck will get cleared back in the neutral zone.
Yeah, that changes the dynamic of this game drastically, especially when you get a goal like that in the opening minute of a period. You come out thinking, all right, we're only down 1-0. Maybe we got this thing. Now all of a sudden your emotions are thrown right out the window. A first-minute goal of a period.
And we saw that, semi-similar to that in the first, just almost 2 minutes into that first period. Smithfield really establishing the tone at the start of each period, and that puck traveling out of play, and will stop there and come back.
Tonight's second period on Fans Only Sports Network brought to you by Joseph Lamy, attorney at law, 696 Reservoir Avenue in Cranston, Rhode Island. Visit josephlamy.com for more information, and by RR Elite Recruits, with access to 3,000 schools and 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by being a part of RR Elite Recruits. Chris.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you to our sponsors who help make games like this possible each week for us on Fans Only Sports Network. Face-off coming away by the Sentinels as they get set to Rinker at the top, who has to keep it on the blue line side. Van Gordon going to have to keep it in play, too. Dumped behind the net, that time taken away by Hopkins. Right in front of Glass, and the puck seems to be stuck in the net. In the back of the net, that is. And we'll get a stoppage of play to loosen that puck free.
Yeah, it looks like it got caught in the apron that wraps around the backside of the net, and so it gets caught in that wedge point between the mesh of the net and that little apron. You're never getting that puck out unless you stop play.
So something we forgot to mention, too, Smithfield on the power play. 1:44 left. This one rifled by Rinker off to the left side. And now going back the other way. And a hard shot from Passia. The whole left side of the net was exposed. Jacob Hopkins whiffed on the opportunity, and the Crusaders dodge a bullet as the puck gets sent back the other way. Here comes Van Gordon. The pass up front that time to Jacob Boudreau, who dumps it in. And Glass uses the stick to deflect it away. And Prout will clear it once again through center. Bradley giving it off to Van Gordon. Van Gordon going to have to redirect from the pressure, that time from Caleb Burnett. And it's left up that time for Sylvester. Sent all the way up through center, nearly tripped up. Hawkins flips that puck through the air to Boudreau, and Boudreau's just going to opt to dump it in and get a Sentinel line change. 45 seconds remaining on the power play. And sent away by Prout. PK unit gets a line change. And they'll start the long trek forward. Sylvester fed up front, trying to get it to Nate Goff. Goff struggling to get around the defender of Nick Gamba. But Goff will come up with it, sending it back to the top. Hard shot from Payne, a little wide to the left that time, as Hawkins sends it back the other way. Goff trying to get around Gamba. And dumps it off that time to Hawkins. A hard slap shot, score! Nate Goff throws the stick to the floor and punches the glass in excitement. Smithfield up now, 3-0.
There's our first sniper shot of this season. He just absolutely tore back and banged that one. There was no way that was going anywhere but in the back of the net. I want a radar gun on that shot because it was on fire.
And the whole stand knew it too. The water bottle popped off the hinges as a result for Glass. And we'll return to center with a 3-0 Sentinels lead.
To those watching back in the studio, please mark that one at 11:51 of the second because that is a Fans Only Sports Network highlight of the night.
It has to be. I mean, that's the one that's going on social media for sure. This one dumped off on the near side glass and wrapped around the backside. A hard body check into the boards that time as Thomas Hayden laid the shoulder in. And now Roberts clears it back to center. Rinker playing on his heels that time, but he gets some assistance. And this puck sent a little too far ahead for Joseph McConney. And the whistle called for icing. 11:13 left to go in the second period.
This is game one of the Rhode Island high school hockey season for us, and obviously a huge slate of games to come tomorrow. You've got a great one, I think, down at Portsmouth Abbey. Barrington against the newly promoted to D1 North Kingstown, defending D2 state champs in D1 now. Burrville LaSalle tomorrow. Warwick opens up their season against these Smithfield Sentinels. Ironically, we'll see them tomorrow at Thayer Arena. And then we close off the night, East Greenwich and Mount St. Charles.
A lot of great games on the ticker here on Fans Only Sports Network. Don't miss out. Check out any live stream games at fansonlysports.com. That's sports with a Z at the end. And purchase your single or full season ticket passes there. Right at glass again as this one travels behind the net. Smithfield couldn't really seem to get a full set on shooting ability there. And this one sent back as they managed to rifle the shot off as he fell to his feet and a whistle blown to stop play.
Nets off of its mooring.
And that came off as its mooring as a hard shot came from Dominic Passia.
That's one of the things that's a little bit different with these high school rinks. We've talked about this over the past couple of seasons. A lot of the high school rinks, they use what is called a spike peg. It's like basically like a big cleat that grips into the ice. Unlike what you see in college and pros where you see the hole pegs where they drill the hole into the ice, drop that steel peg in. So it's a little bit easier to have the net pop off of its mooring in high school rinks than you will see it, say, happen at like a Providence College or like the Providence Bruins, the Boston Bruins.
Yep. I would not have known that. That's a very interesting fact right there. Bradley falls on the puck on the previous sequence, and we'll get a face-off on the Sentinels side with 10:30 to go.
Matt Gillis' golden nugget for the night.
Yeah, there's always a good learning opportunity at times with you, Matt. You always bring something to the table. And this one being shepherded up front by Hopkins on the near side, but it's stolen away from Aiden Forcier. And, a hard check on number 22, Mark Belcher. And they'll rifle a shot at Bradley off the rebound. There was a hard, strong chance for them to find the back of the net right there. And cleared away. And they'll bring the puck right back. As that was Jacob Hopkins rifling it down ice. 9:58 left in the second period.
I feel like for the way this game is going, Prout's going to get at least one tonight. It's probably not going to come in this period, might come into the third period, but I feel like they're putting some things together that they're going to get at least one out of this one tonight.
And, I mean, it's not really a good way to set up a scoring opportunity with a penalty against them as Mark Belcher once again heads to the box. So Smithfield on another power play. They already have one power play goal in the affair tonight.
I think I got my stat wrong earlier when I was, or my key to the game when I was talking about discipline. I was talking about Smithfield staying out of the box. Prout needs to stay out of the box.
Absolutely. I mean,
Smithfield's only had 2 penalties called against them. Prout is what, 4, 5 now?
At least 4. Rinker takes the face-off, trying to get back up to Goff, who had that sniper shot earlier. That might be a penalty coming. No arm up, however. Referees are going to let that one slide. Goff trying to get it over to Mercurier on the crosser. It's dumped back in by Van Gordon.
Yeah, it looked a little sus to me. I thought he had his arm over top of his shoulder from behind.
Mercurio maneuvering as he gets it back to Rinker at the top, who rifles one. It's blocked by the defender, as that was Max Costello in the way. But now Rinker at the top. Fed over to the side to that time to Van Gordon, right in front, stopped by Glass. Flipped away by Van Gordon yet again. And sent all the way back to Bradley. Bradley defeated off that time to Cody Van Gordon. And sent back to center over to Nick Gamba. And Bradley deflecting that away. Rinker and Burnett collide right in front of the glass. A minute left now in the penalty.
That's 9-on-9 violence right there.
Yeah, I was just going to mention 2 nines colliding. Back in neutral ice. It's flipped back to Van Gordon. Mercurio having trouble stopping it down. Has a man chasing them. That's Derek Gismondi. And now Van Gordon has it again. Giving it up to Hawkins. Hawkins flips it back as he was hoping that Passia would be in the vicinity. But it's just going to get sent back behind the net. Passia has it this time. And hard pressure coming from Tyler Simo. And now at the top of the zone to Sylvester, who rifles it back down. Boudreau and others as this one's flipped the opposite way and back through center ice. Skating hard for Sylvester, but being met by Gismondi, who sends it right to Bradley. Bradley going to stick it away. And this one going all the way back. Icing called with 2 seconds remaining on that power play and 8 solid minutes remaining in the second period.
Want to close your home purchase or refinance faster? Contact me, David Delbonis, at 401-487-7379, President Precision Home Lending. Trust the experts and we'll make your loan experience amazing.
And we'd like to thank our sponsors from Precision Home Lending for their contributions to our broadcast here on Fans Only Sports Network. This one dumped away to the far side, and it stays in play, no icing. Glass definitely wanted that icing call at the arm outstretched. However, the referee said, get out of here with that, as they keep it in play. And it's flipped back over to Payne. Payne dumps it down for Boudreau. Boudreau sending it the other way. It was intended for Hopkins. Prout defense all over it. And thought they blew a whistle for a second. Everybody looked up, and a rifling shot at Glass, who gloves it up. And Sylvester was the one to take the shot.
No, it's fine. They just need to sit down.
Yeah. And now the face-off. And goes right at Glass, who will glove that one down. Jackson Villani is trying to sneak it right through.
Yeah, we'll see that a lot from, good talented hockey teams that have strong shooters will try to do that draw play right off of the face-off. See if they can catch the goalie off angle a little bit.
And puck flipped through the air. It stays on the ground finally. And they're trying to get something set up as Thomas Hayden was having some difficulty there. Joseph McConney and sent back. This is the third line for the Sentinels, giving their starters a little bit of some rest. And this one tracked back by Rinker. Here he comes across the blue line. A hard maneuver, a good chance right in front. Ooh, a little wide to the left on that chance. But the Sentinels keep it in play. Goes back around to the far side. And Vanelli after it, but it's going to get flipped up by the Crusaders. Taking it up, Jay Cox, and the whistle called offsides. You can see a man over there floating in the vicinity. A little too early that time. That was Liam McIntosh.
Take a look at what we got coming up on Fans Only Sports Network tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. These Smithfield Sentinels go on the road to Thayer Arena, take on the Warwick Co-op team. Burrillville and LaSalle from Levy Ice Rink in Burrillville, 7 o'clock, and then Barrington and North Kingstown.
And the Barrington-North Kingstown game has a nice duality because you're talking about a new team to Division I and then a new team letting us broadcast their home games on the network. So a lot of dualities going on there. Actually, a tripality, I guess, because you got the first time ever we're getting to broadcast, I believe, at the Portsmouth.
That's going to be actually the third time because we actually did a couple of Roger Williams University games from Portsmouth Abbey, but it's going to be our first high school hockey game from Portsmouth Abbey.
That's very true. A lot of hard hits right there through that discussion we just had as this puck stays on the near side. Rifling right at Bradley, who knocks it away, and now taking it up is Malari. That was Beleni. Now behind the net and a whistle called. We got a penalty coming, and it's going to be a hooking.
Yeah, they caught him finally for enough physicality going a little too far. And once you start to see bodies flying, that's when you know an arm from a referee is going to go up pretty soon.
Yeah, and you can tell Frank Lombardi definitely not too happy about that with the slam of the penalty box door.
The dude's sliding across the ice on his belly. You think you're not going to get called for that?
So, Prout will go on the power play. We'll see if they can be effective on this one. Off the face-off. It's flipped back to the point, but immediately intercepted by Mercurio, who dumps it in. Glass going to have to take a step out of the net and feed it off there to Malari, Goff behind the net. Sentinels PK units just causing a whole lot of issues here as Gamba finally comes away with it. And Gamba, a nice redirect to really trip up Mercurio, and he'll patrol through center. The flip off to McIntosh. And Rinker using that big body to check him into the boards. And Goff will flip it across. It was nearly stick down that time by Burnett, and Glass going to flip it off here to Malari. Malari checked up against the boards, clamped down by Mercurio. It's just been a strong forecheck from this PK unit. And Goff and even Van Gordon get in and on the fun as they dump it back in. Mercurio all by himself now, that's Hawkins. And they flip it back to center. Playing some keep away this time. Sylvester sends it across ice and cleared again. Under a minute to go. 50 seconds, in fact, in the penalty. As Glass quickly had to get back in the box with Hopkins on the doorstep. But Hawkins flips it behind his back. I think he was expecting at least Sylvester or Payne to be there. And the Sentinels will clear it yet again.
Yeah,
a breakaway chance coming for Hawkins. Wrapped around back of the net. Score! William Hawkins makes it 4-0 on the short-handed attempt. And that was just a complete collapse of this power play unit that should have been playing defensively in that moment. And the Sentinels take advantage of this.
Yeah, that's a very interesting setup as well, because you look at it, they just needed if you had 5 on the ice, you would have had 23. They have 20, 21, 22, 24 on the ice right now. Great group of 4 for the Sentinels.
And this one flipped up by Payne. And a hard shot coming at Bradley as this one's flipped back up to center. Simo going to have to chase it down as Hopkins is hot on his trail. 15 seconds remain in the power play, and they still have nothing to show for it. Here comes Simo, crossing the blue line, onside, and wrapped around the chance as the whole right side of the net was exposed. However, just some lagging opportunity there as the power play comes to an end. He had Derek Gismondi in the vicinity to make a chance happen, but now Smithfield with the chance itself. And they might have to stop play. It looked like the net might have come off the moorings, but not enough. So here they come once again. Here comes Forcier. And trying to flip it behind Rinker. Flips it back to the slot. Nobody was there. You're starting to see, Matt, that these Crusaders, they're trying to set up some offensive zones, or some plays, I should say, but they're just not in sync.
Yeah, they're like I said earlier, they're pushing. They're trying to push. They're trying so hard to break that back line. They're stretching themselves out. Mm-hmm. So when you're getting that forward down there with the puck, he's trying to look back for that back pass into the center slot, looking for that second, third player, and they're getting Bradley drawn out, but then that second, third guy's not there to make the slot.
And off the face-off win, the Crusaders will come up with it, and now Costello to bring it in. Trying to use the back of his stick to keep it away on the poke check coming from Van Gordon. And Van Gordon has it, but a whistle called. We're going to get a tripping. And it looks like it's going to go against number 7. That's Cody Van Gordon heading to the box for 2 minutes.
Critical time for the Crusaders. 3:02 left to go in the period. Now you get the 2-minute penalty. You're in the second period. You're down 4 now. You've got to start to try to put things together a little bit more confidently. Otherwise, this game's going to get away.
And off the face-off win on the near side. Trying to get a good setup opportunity, but once again, no one there for Prout. They're going to have to try again. Gamba has it here. Trying to send it down right in front of the net off to the left. And Payne dumping it away for the Sentinels. It stays on the near side boards down there. Payne comes up with it and flips it back through center and clears it effectively for Smithfield.
Again, they're shooting from distance. They're shooting from the angles. They're not crashing the nets. I said that all the way back in the first period. I'll say it again in this period.
Karamidas dumping it off to Gamba. Gamba, it's deflected off of Mercurio. Payne trying to meet up there that time with Karamidas. And it's sent back to center. Crusaders going to have to get onside once again. Gamba flips it over to his man that time, Alari. And it's intercepted right there at the top by Payne. Payne dumps it in, but opts to back off. And he'll just head back to the bench for a change. Under a minute now in the penalty. Jake Cox coming across the blue line, and the shot off Bradley's glove. And the Crusaders have it right in front again, but nobody in the proper spot. It's for an opportunity. Fans on the Crusaders side look like they had their hands up looking for a power play call again, but nothing to it. And the puck will remain in action. Belcher at the top, giving it to Malari. Back to Belcher. Trying to get an effective setup here. Belcher opts to travel down into the zone. Flips it back the other way to McIntosh. Right in front, and Belcher whiffs on the chance. And sent back. Smithfield clears it with just 10 seconds left in the penalty. That's probably the cleanest movement of the puck we've seen from the Crusaders all game so far.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that. Best sequence. I think we've really seen bad turnover here, though.
And Boudreau nearly finding the back of the net again. That one bouncing off. Another chance, rifling it down ice was Hopkins. And this one on the back of the boards. It's flipped to the opposite side. And kept in play. Smithfield looking to etch another one up there. Right in front, another chance. Stopped again. Lombardi that time to take the chance on net. And now chasing after it is Passia. And stolen by the Crusaders, but a little tangled up. They're looking for a hooking call, and they're going to get it. That's going to be against Tyler Simo for hooking. And so now the Crusaders are back where they wouldn't want to be. And he's trying to argue his case, but you're not going to get anything out of that.
Yeah, he's trying to say that the Smithfield player got underneath his stick and lifted up his stick, which kind of caused it to get caught in the other player's arm, and it was just a tangle, and everybody goes down. But I kind of see where the referee's going with this one, because he grabs onto the player and brings him down with him. That's what you can't do this.
Yeah, exactly. So off the face-off win, Payne at the top. Smithfield will continue this power play into the third period. 20 seconds left as we watch this period wind down. It's cleared back at center ice. And Payne trying to battle this time with Roberts as the puck was dangling right in front of the goaltender, and Sylvester will bring it up with the hard pass over to Anthony Mercurio. Flips it behind his back. It's intercepted by Mark Roberts. Roberts rips one at Bradley, but the horn will sound, and that'll end 2 periods of action. A trio of goals scored by the Sentinels to make it 4-0 as we hit the second period intermission. So that'll do it for 2 periods. Once again, Smithfield up 4-0. You're watching Fans Only Sports Network. We'll be back for the start of the third period. The ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Comes in, fires, deflected, no, rebound, score! The handball shot, off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Justin fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Justin fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Justin fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Justin fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Justin fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Justin fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, Throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot off the post. Score!
Gonna try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot. Score! Cornell down the field. End zone. That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot off the post. Score!
Gonna try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot. Score! Cornell down the field. End zone. That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
And with that epic intro opening video, you got to give credit to Matt Jolis for that beautiful graphic right there. We're back at Smithfield Municipal Ice Rink. Score 4-0 as the Smithfield Sentinels lead the Prout Crusaders in a very, very good opening game here to start the season for Rhode Island High School hockey. And Matt, there was a lot to unpack there, but a trio of goals scored in that second period to make it 4-0. What did we see so far in this one?
Yeah, it's been interesting. I think Smithfield really actually has played disciplined hockey. Yes, they had a few players in the penalty boxes, but they took care of themselves while they were on the penalty, making sure that they got good defensive passing through. On the opposite side, it's been Prout having some undisciplined hockey that's caused Smithfield a lot of opportunity. Prout still, for me, the one big thing, the one piece of the puzzle they need to figure, and yes, it's only game one, there's still a lot to play. Please crash the net a little bit more. How many times tonight have you said wide open side of the net and no one in the center in a gray jersey?
So we'll see if both these teams have made their proper adjustments as we get back to center for the final period of action. And with that, the puck hits the floor. We're underway. Minute 30 remaining on this power play for the Sentinels as they send it up front. That's Goff that time getting dumped off. As it wraps around the board, Sylvester to dump it in. And Prout with the shorthanded man will bring it up front. Gamba sends it right at Bradley as it flips over the top into the protective netting. 1:11 remaining on that power play.
Tonight's third period brought to you by Joseph Lamy, attorney at law, 696 Reservoir Avenue in Cranston, Rhode Island. Visit josephlammy.com for more information, and by our elite recruits with access to 3,000 schools, 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by being a part of RR Elite Recruits. I was calling so many Mount St. Charles games today, I almost started doing Mount sponsors.
Goff flips it off this time to Hawkins. Hawkins patrolling through center as he's checked into the boards that time by Gismondi. And Mercurio traps it down up against the boards with a lot of pressure from one defender. Goff trying to help him out. Goff comes up with it, flipping it across for Payne. And Gismondi able to break that apart. Aiden Forcier trying to get around. Some good movement there from Sylvester to really prevent him from breaking away. 35 seconds remain on the penalty, and they're trying to get a shorthanded chance right in front. Puck crossing the blue line. And Forcier couldn't trap it down at center. Hawkins comes up with it for Smithfield. Traveling past two defenders. The puck escaped him a little bit. He'll flip it back in front. There was a huge chance forthcoming for Passia. And the puck returns to center. And trying to do a little too much. There was Aiden Forcier, and that's our second time that we get a puck hitting the ceiling here at the Municipal Ice Rink. 13 seconds to go on the power play.
I'm staring at the KFC Taco Bell sign right across the way from our broadcast position, and I realize I need dinner after this game. I think it might be some Taco Bell nachos. The 7-layer nacho fries is legit.
Really?
Taco Bell has a 7-layer nacho fries. It's crazy.
Wow, that's something I got to think of. Hey, if you want some good nachos, you should go to Blackie's and try the pulled pork nachos. This one going right into the bench. Getting some free sponsorship there. And how to play.
That's one of the fun things about opening night of the season is because you and I don't get a chance to share a broadcast booth often. Usually you're calling a game, I'm calling a game. Because this is the only game on the schedule tonight, you and I actually get a chance to share a broadcast booth and do a game together. It might be like playoffs before this happens again.
I know it. Hopefully not. Hopefully we get another chance for something like this. It's always an entertaining broadcast with Matt Jolis and Chris Heatu. Behind the net, this puck flipped to the near side boards and flipped back in the opposite direction. And over there is Jackson Reeves. As it goes through center, he gives it up there to McIntosh. Bradley deflects that one off. Mark Roberts to chase it down and goes back to McIntosh. Needs some help from Burnett. Burnett flips it behind his back to McIntosh. Right in front, and a missed opportunity. As that was whiffed. That was Mark Roberts in the perfect placement. And an icing will bring the puck back. It could give Prout another chance.
How many times have we said right in front, missed opportunity, right in front, missed opportunity tonight for the Prout Crusaders? It seems like that's been a running theme throughout the course of the night, and that goes in line to what I was talking about, crashing the net, not crashing the net.
And the face-off. Sentinels come away with it. It's shepherded by McConaughey and dumped the other way. And we'll do it all over again.
I'm kind of excited for that Barrington NK game tomorrow just because I'm intrigued to see what NK is going to bring.
Yeah.
They've been so good the past couple of years, so talented in Division II. Now you come into D1, you got to play the likes of Hendricken, you got to play LaSalle, you got to play Mount, you got to play Smithfield. It's going to be interesting to see what style of play they bring.
Absolutely. It will definitely be very interesting to see what they bring to Barrington. Barrington was a team last year that kind of had times that they could play competitive, but they just didn't really have all that a team like Smithfield has at the end of the day. And here the Crusaders looking to generate some type of offense, and it's going to stay cleared. Bradley going to stop it down there for Sylvester. Flipping it over to Hayden. Thomas Hayden, and now this time being shepherded by Jackson Vanelli. Vanelli rifles one off of, this time that's Angelo Evangelista in net, relieving Owen Glass. His night is over as he's allowed 4 goals to his credit. Evangelista will do the duties for the remainder of tonight. This shot wide to the right. And Sylvester flips it over to the near side to Rinker. And back in front. This one, Jake Cox. Cox struggling, and the Sentinels flip it away from him. This time McConaughey. And now taken up this time by Jackson Vanilli. Checked into the boards. Cox ahead of it. Goff flipping it to Rinker. And the puck sent right back to Goff. Goff was looking for some help from his defense, but nobody there. Now on the near side, a good chance for Forcier, who's knocked to the floor. No hands up, no penalty. The play will continue. And Forcier allowing the back off that time for Cox, as he definitely could have jumped in and helped there, but sent back to center, and Malari will send it over to Gamba.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I agree with that non-call by the referee there, because it looked like he was in possession of the puck trying to play forward and then got taken down, and the player came across him to take him down. Not entirely sure I agree with that non-call.
Yeah, it was definitely a very interesting non-call. However, Smithfield keeping the offensive generation going. Rinker gives it to Mercurio, sends it over to Goff. It bounced off the skates. Lombardi coming in to keep it in play. However, it's going to go back to center. And it's eventually dumped back in. Gamba to be the first contact. Hawkins trying to meet him there. Both sides get a line change. Gamba moves through the neutral zone into the attacking zone. Gamba Sent it behind his back that time to Gismondi, and it goes back to center. Retreating after it is Hopkins. And wow, that time Evangelista came all the way out of the box, and a rebounding shot. Another one going off to the left. As that time, though, was Hopkins tried to set the 5th goal up. Payne has it, and he'll send it past Boudreau. And another chance, rifling a shot right at Evangelista, deflects off. The shot came from Hopkins. Gamba trying to play effective defense, and they'll eventually get it up to Derek Gismondi. He's being met by a couple of Sentinels. And now Sylvester to chase this puck down. And it's crossed the opposite way towards the net. However, nobody there to the avail of the Crusaders, and we got ourselves a penalty coming. And it looks like it's going to be for high sticking.
Roughing call. Could have called high sticking as well, too, because you saw the position of the stick. But they're going to go with the 2-minute call for roughing.
And that sends Derek Gismondi into the box. Put 2 minutes on the board in favor of the Sentinels.
Critical spot for the Crusaders right here. Have to be able to kill this off just to be able to try to hold a semblance of hope to things. But in reality, I think, Smithfield gets one here. That's probably the game.
And play will continue as Rinker sends it right in front of the slot. That time it was intended for Hawkins, but it's cleared effectively back into the Sentinels side of the ice. And the PK doing its job early on in the early minutes. And apologies right there for a spectator walking in front of our camera here. Hawkins sends it across. Goff back to Rinker. Rinker over to the far side that time. Rifling a shot. It's going to deflect into the netting. That was a hard wrister that time from Cody Van Gordon. And 1:25 to go in this power play.
Tonight's third period brought to you by Joseph Lamy, attorney at law at 696 Reservoir Avenue in Cranston, Rhode Island. Visit josephlamy.com for more information. And by our elite recruits with access to 3,000 schools, 80,000 coaches across 30 NCAA sports. For athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by being a part of our eliterecruits.com. Chris.
Rinker, this one deflecting off the rebound. A glove save as Goff sent it right at Evangelista, and definitely give him a pat on the back for that one. A volley of shots, a minute 13 left on this power play, and Smithfield knocking on the door once again.
Yeah, getting space in the wing there to be able to get those shots off, kind of coming from awkward angles, but Smithfield is really good at those awkward angle shots.
Goff getting a little tangled up there that time with Roberts, and now patrolling back through center is Roberts. Roberts trying to take it across, but a good poke check from Van Gordon. Takes the puck away and back to Chase Rinker. Rinker flying through there. Goff fell on his belly that time and trying to set it up right in front of Evangelista. And it's taken up that time by Caleb Burnett. Van Gordon chasing it down. Burnett trying to make up for the mistake. Hard check into the boards that time, but a clean one. And now that's Pastia. And a whistle. Looks like they're going to get him for offsides. 34 seconds remain on this penalty.
Want to close your home purchase or refinance faster? Contact me, David Delbonis, at 401-487-7379, President Precision Home Lending. Trust the experts and we'll make your loan experience amazing.
And we welcome you back. Payne intercepted that time. It was knocked away, but Sylvester able to get on top of the puck. Under 30 seconds now to go in this penalty. Flipping it across ice and sailing all the way back towards Evangelista and net. He'll dump it behind there, met immediately by Boudreau. And Gamba flips it back up, but Sylvester will keep it in play, dumps it back behind. Boudreau here, needing some help, trying to get it to Payne, but it's intercepted, taken away that time by Forcier. Forcier with a chance, the flip over the top, and they're back to full strength now. Sylvester holds it. Sending it across ice. It bounces off the skate of Boudreau, but Passia able to keep it onside and in play, and it'll go back to center. Or no, back into the far side of things. Chasing it down is Malari. And fed up front. A nice lead that time to Derek Gismondi, who came out of the box moments ago. On the near side boards. And being taken up back through center this time by McConaughey. And now Vanilli, this one a little wide to the right. And puck still floating around in the vicinity. Villani flipping it over. Now behind the net once again for McConaughey. And going the other way on the far side board. Karamidas with the pass over there, and Rinker dumps it back down, and it's flipped up against the boards back to Rinker. Chase Rinker. A nice maneuver there on the deke. The shot bouncing off the stick side. And the defense trying to move the puck out of the zone, but here come the Sentinels again. The shot deflected off the defender and falling to his butt was McConaughey. And another good poke check from Van Gordon. McConaughey dumps that one in, and the Sentinels get a new line out. And back there, another chance for Mercurio. Hard slap shot into the chest of Evangelista. Now stop play with 6 minutes remaining in regulation. This game has been all Smithfield from start to finish, Matt, and it's just been a very good performance to start the season for them.
Yeah, it's been from really the opening 2 minutes of the game, getting that goal right away, then establishing it again, opening minute of the second period, getting another goal before putting off a bevy in that period to 4-0. I think, really, if you look at Smithfield, you've kind of done what you want to do to start the season off, and they've shown themselves to be, I think, a little bit better than they were last year.
Absolutely. Really kind of setting my expectations high for them as of this point. Patrolling through into the zone with Simo, sending the shot right at Bradley. Bradley trying to pitch a shutout in tonight's affair, and he'll stop that puck behind his back. And we have 5:36 to go.
Yeah, I thought Smithfield was kind of in that top 4, I think, this year with, you've got LaSalle, obviously, Bishop Hendricken, Smithfield really in the mix of that, that fourth team is going to kind of be interesting. I think Burrillville could make a play for it.
Potentially.
But it's like, it's going to be very interesting to see how this all, shakes out.
Yeah, especially considering last year we saw LaSalle play an undefeated regular season and go into the postseason only to get swept by Bishop Hendricken in the playoffs. So tomorrow will set the tone for them to see if they're similar to last year. And then for Burrillville, they struggled a lot last year when it came to putting points up and protecting the net, and we got ourselves a fight now. A little scrum going in 2 different directions. Several players, their helmets have come off. One falling to the ground. That's an ejection.
That's an ejection. He's gone.
And still some more players fighting over here. So that was Sylvester getting into it that time.
He's gone.
With Jake Cox.
Definitely one player from Smithfield's going to be out of this game for the night.
And we definitely had ourselves quite an opening night. You got it from potential shutout to a multi-goal game and even a bunch of fights going on here.
There's sticks and gloves and helmets all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, it's everything you could ask for in a hockey game. The physicality, the maneuvering, and the fighting at the end of it.
There's not supposed to be fighting in high school hockey. What are you talking about?
I know.
That's supposed to happen in the NHL, yes, but high school and college, you're not supposed to have fighting happen in high school and college. You're supposed to play clean games. Said no hockey player ever. This is going to be a long conversation.
Oh, yeah.
With the referees, because for all intent and purpose, I think there's probably got to be somebody, at least, especially because we saw a Prout player get thrown down with his helmet coming off.
Yeah.
There's contact to the face mask area, which clearly occurred from a multitude of players on both sides. There's going to be a lot of red numbers on the scoreboard, but I think to all of it being, there's got to be at least one player from each side. I think that's going to get tossed from this one.
Yeah.
It's a matter of, was it the instigating player or was it the player who made contact? We saw that Prout player go down, the helmet come flying off. That usually creates an expulsion situation. The other thing to it is going to be, after all of this is said and done, after this game is said and done, is going to be going back and looking at the video and seeing is there anything extra that's going to get added on if you get ejected from a game? I believe, don't quote me on this because I know this is the way it is in juniors, though. If you get ejected from a game, you're suspended the next game. It's like a red card in soccer. You're out. You sit. I believe that's the same in high school as well, too. You get ejected from this game, you sit the next game. Now, Smithfield plays tomorrow against Warwick. If that's one of your key players and they're out and they don't play tomorrow against Warwick, that's a huge loss for Smithfield against a team that really, I think, is kind of established themselves a little bit more towards the second half of the season. With some knowledge of what to go through in D1, they come in tomorrow. Smithfield going into a game against Warwick, if you've got a few players gone, that's a question mark game all of a sudden.
So they're still discussing things over with the officials. And this could be a good moment, a good opportunity for us to take a quick break here. We'll be right back on Fans Only Sports Network in just a moment. And we're back after the quick word from one of our game sponsors as we continue to await the officials to talk things over after a skirmish going on the ice that resulted in multiple fights that resulted in both Prout and Sentinels getting separated. So we're still trying to figure out what's going on here, but it looks like we might have a final answer. And it's going to be him. It's going to be number 8 of Smithfield. 18, that's Jacob Boudreau. And they're telling him he's going to have to leave the game.
Yeah, that door is open to the tunnelway, and Boudreau is out of this game.
And at least he took it like a good sport. Most people who get ejected like that aren't really too happy with the result of that, but good sportsmanship on his part, just not good sportsmanship that we saw unfold on the ice. So that's going to send a man to the box. That's number 22. That's James Jacob Sylvester. No, James Sylvester. Apologies. I didn't realize there were 2 Sylvesters on this team.
That's okay. That's not the blooper reel of the day.
Yeah.
The blooper reel of the day, I took responsibility for this one. I did it this morning at like 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, boy.
Or whatever. Dylan Crayer scored a goal for the Mount St. Charles Academy team in his game, and I called it for his brother Matt.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
And I caught myself immediately right after I said it. Dylan Crayer scored the goal. I called Matt Crayer scoring the goal. Realized immediately right after and said, oh my gosh, no, wait, actually that's Dylan Crayer scoring. And then had a funny moment later on in the day, actually chatting with Matt Crayer before he was playing, and he was saying it's cool because the funny thing is with so many brother pairings in the Mount Academy program, they've had funny situations where they've been in the same room and just gone, yo, Mertz and Noah and Carson turn around at the same time. You can do it with the Catalos, the Crayers, the Mertzes.
That's funny.
There's a lot of brother pairings in the Mount Academy program, but yeah, you call 4 Mount games in a day. You call every single one of the teams 14, 15, 16, 18. You start to get your brothers mixed up.
It's all just intertwining. It all blends together at the end of things. So still our head referee continues to explain to the Sentinels bench and explain to our scorebox keeper before we can actually get play going. We got to actually see a penalty go up on the board.
I think they've got to get a second player in the box.
Yeah, and it's 2 Prout players also.
Yeah,
and
they got to get a second player in the box.
So they send Frank Lombardi.
For Smithfield.
Frank Lombardi heads in there. And it looks like that's Tyler Simo. And also number 18, that's John Gaffney in the box. With 5.
And there's probably going to be nothing. There's probably going to be nothing on the board There's going to be nothing that's going to go up on the board. These are probably 5-minute penalties all around. It's just going to be 5-on-5. Nothing on the board. Nope, they're going to put the 5 minutes up on the board.
All right.
Okay.
So the major going to go against the Sentinels, or it might just be in total.
No, that's the 5-minute major that was assessed to Boudreau on top of him getting tossed out of the game. And then the rest of the penalties are coincidentals that occurred. Now, the question is going to be, the rest of it's coincidentals, and then there's the 5-minute major, but Boudreau's out of the game, and there's 5:10 left of the game.
So Prout will be on the power play major for the remainder of this one as it's dumped all the way back to Evangelista, and we are finally back underway after a long delay. Redirecting that time is Gamba, and Nick Gamba will travel up ice. And the feed up front there to Aiden Forcier. Forcier, a good feed right in front, the shot, and it's stopped by Van Gordon as that was just Mondi to make the initial contact and sent all the way back to Evangelista to stop the puck down for Forcier to Shepard. Behind the net. He'll track it up ice. Flipping it behind that time. Hawkins, I believe. And into the attacking zone. A good chance. Off the backhanded. Oh, my goodness. Just Mondi missed an opportunity to break the shutout. But now here comes number 20, Jacob Hopkins. And Evangelista will just opt to glove this one down with danger looming. 4:13 remaining in the game.
How do you have so many wide open net opportunities and you don't hit a single one in this game that, again, the whole net is open. How do you miss that every single time?
And that's something that I think most teams might have to take a look in the film room, is if he's going to give you that much space, Bradley, he could do it in the future. So that's something teams have to look out for going forward. But here's another chance forthcoming for the Crusaders, sending one right off the shin pads that time. That was Liam McIntosh. And play continues as the puck wraps around to the far side board. And sent back through the neutral zone. And no icing the call as the line change came forth. And that one, that looked like a miscommunication as it was intended for Caleb Burnett. But Burnett rifling one at Bradley, and Bradley couldn't glove the puck cleanly. It stays in play on the near side boards. And another one coming at Bradley, who's going to take the save. And he's telling another player to get out of here. And it looks like it's going to be Prout.
Nah, might be the 11.
It is. It actually is. You're correct. It's going to be...
It's the 11 for
Dalton
Smithfield.
Donovan. He's heading to the box. So another 2 minutes. So Smithfield just going to be penalized for the remainder of this one. They're going to be playing 5-on-3 hockey for the remainder of this game, by the looks of it. Well, 5-on-3, 5-on-4.
It's 5-on-3. 5-on-3 for the rest of this game.
Well, at least until the 2 minutes expire.
Yeah.
So 3:26, 3:16 left on the major, 2 minutes on the minor. We're back. And flipped over to Gamba. Gamba. Perfect opportunity to break the door open and get some goals. At the top, back to Gamba. Gamba. That time right in front into the slot, trying to rifle one at Bradley, who will make the glove save. And I'll stop the clock with 3:09.
Yeah, Smithfield's got to be very careful here as well, too. You know, obviously, emotions are high. You want to, continue to fight. You want to continue to protect your players. But Smithfield's got to be very careful. They've got 3 on the ice right now. If they get assessed another penalty, it's a penalty shot. You can't go to 5-on-2. They just award a penalty shot.
And it's already a party in that penalty box right now. Both of them, I might say. All you need is a disco balls and some bass-boosted amps, and you got yourself a party. Payne creating some great defense on Gamba as he falls to the floor. And this one sent back to center. A good chance for Karamidas. And back at the top. Flipped on down to Gamba. Gamba maneuvering all over. Sends it through the middle and blocked away by the defender. Another exposed neck. Karamidas on the left side, missed the opportunity. And this one at the point, the shot deflected away. That was Malari with the shot. And this one going behind net this time. At the top, Gamba. Sending it that time to Costello. And deflected away, Karamidas. Karamidas checked hard by Hopkins, And right in front of Bradley. And he'll make the stop with 2:08 to go.
It's amazing to think that this game is 4-0 Smithfield, and it's dead even in shots on goal. Prout has had every single chance opportunity in the world. They haven't been able to put one back behind Bradley. I mean, Bradley's done a phenomenal job. We said it, he's the guy now. Jake Salima's gone. Bradley's the guy, and he's showing why he is the guy. He's showing he deserves it.
He really does. He's just been calm and poised all night long, taking shot after shot. And whistle blown.
I think they don't allow the switch to occur. Smithfield is trying to line change. They don't allow the line change to occur because the puck's in their zone.
Gamba, this one flipped to the far side, coming back to the near side, and sent down that time to Mark Belcher. And flipped away by Pasia. Gamba rifling one in, trying to find the hole, and it can't slip through. Forcier, and this one dumped down. Ooh, a whiff shot by Belcher as the stick slapped against the ice. Right in front, nearly a chance as Jake Cox sends it back up to Gamba. Gamba coming to the middle of the zone. Cutting back in. This shot going to bounce off the protective glass. A minute and a half remaining. And Smithfield going to manage to get one of their players back to make it 5-on-4 now. Penalty expires. And another shot. Oh, wide to the left that time. And Smithfield only going to be able to get full 5 men on the ice for the remaining 10 seconds of this game. And it's flipped back. A good stop from Nate Goff. Nate Goff fell to his knees as he nearly had a chance on net. Hawkins was in the vicinity, but they will get a penalty call for that one. That's going to be a tripping.
Yeah, that's going to negate everything now because you're going to put a Prout player in the box. So that negates that 54 seconds. We're going to switch everything around, and basically you're just going to see 4-on-4 for the rest of this game.
It'll go back to a power play for at least a few seconds, but...
Yeah, I mean, for what?
Yeah, exactly.
For what?
Smithfield has played an excellent night all around as they have just dominated Prout from start to finish as we hit the final minute in this one. And the home crowd's definitely been a strong presence here. And they moved to 1-0 on the season with the victory today. And this puck remaining in their zone. The shot knocked away that time as Nolan Quirk tried to get in. And Quirk knocks it away, and it'll go into the home bench out of play with 33 seconds to go.
Yeah, I think, all things being said, yeah, a lot of emotions. Yes, a lot of players in the penalty box and everything, but Smithfield, for me, it's really been crisp, tape-to-tape passing, a lot of good puck movement, stretching open the zone, making Prout have to really cycle around. On the other side of it for Prout, it's missed opportunities.
Absolutely.
Just so many missed opportunities, not crashing the net and having wide open space. They had so many times that this game could be 6-4 the other way.
And an icing call will drag this one out a little bit longer with 19 seconds to go. And Smithfield tomorrow night will take on the Warwick Co-op team. That's at 5:30 p.m. Followed by at 7 p.m. you've got Burrillville taking on LaSalle, and then Barrington hosting NK at 8:30 right here on Fans Only Sports Network.
Don't forget EG Mount St. Charles, 9 p.m.
That's also... Oh, is that at Mount too?
No, that's actually at West Warwick Civic Center.
Yep. Benny.
Just ran out of space on that screen.
And rifling another shot down. Well, that should all but do it. Matt Bradley pitches the shutout in tonight's affair, and the Smithfield Sentinels walk away with a 1-0 record to start the season. 4-0 the final score as they defeat Prout in the home opener and the season opener of the Rhode Island High School Hockey Division I Series here on Fans Only Sports Network. Thank you all for tuning in to the matchup, but before we conclude, final thoughts, Matt.
Yeah, Smithfield can say they're undefeated and they're the only team with a 1 on their record right now in Division I because they are the only ones who have played tonight. Obviously, the rest of everybody else will open tomorrow. But Smithfield, we said that we thought they were going to be a top 4 team this year. I think they showed why they're a top 4 team this year. Matt Bradley certainly is the answer in net for them after the departure of Jake Salima from graduation. And we questioned whether or not what their scoring lines would be like. But look at who stepped up.
Yeah.
It was sort of everybody we expected. So this Smithfield team kind of just said, hey, next man up. Everybody really came back into things this year and went next man up.
Yeah.
And, I think for all things being outside of it, yeah, we've talked about Prout, need to crash the net a little bit more. But Angelo Evangelista, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, comes in the third period, you come in cold off the bench. You're down 4-0. You got to keep your head about you is that you're the goaltender now. I think surprised me a little bit.
He definitely played a very interesting, he played a great effort in the end of this one. Really had to step up, and he prevented any goals at all from being scored here in this third period. No goals scored in the third period of action tonight. And you definitely have to commend him a bit for that, Angelo Evangelista. But some interesting things that we see to start the season. A lot to unfold as time goes on. We thank you all once again for tuning in tonight's broadcast to kick off the Rhode Island High School hockey season. Final score, the Smithfield Sentinels defeat the Prout Crusaders 4-0 right here from Smithfield Municipal Ice Rink. We'll catch you all next time. Be sure to check out more broadcasts this weekend. But until then, this is Matt, Jolis, Chris Hetu, and Jake Roberts signing off from Smithfield Municipal Ice Rink. We'll catch you all next time.